Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Mike's vlog. And we started the week off with a decline bench. He got 355 with a good pause. No real way to use leg drive here, so we're pretty happy with that. And of course, Mike is pretty much finished his cut now, I believe. I would need to double check on that, but I think we're right about done with it. We're at the body weight roughly that we want to be at. So hopefully we can start making some new gains. Again, he's only at this location for 3 weeks, so we're going to get, one more vlog from here. And then we are going to have a move, and he's going to be at a new gym. And hopefully we'll be able to film there, and we can continue this vlog series because it's been great. People have liked it. But we did, because we don't really have bands and chains at this setup, everything's straight weight. So that's where stuff like declines, inclines, all that stuff come in handy. All right, then we do floor presses, one arm dumbbell rows, and again, all for sets of 10. Notice he's getting pretty strong at those 10 rep sets on the floor press. So those are coming along nicely. After that, we do JM presses, which you guys will see here. And Mike has always thrived on JM presses. They've always done a lot for him. So we really like these for Mike. We like them a lot. All right, and even if that means we go bands, reverse bands, whatever we have to do to keep his elbows healthy. But it seems like for him, anytime we get good at these, or we've done them for a while, his bench starts PRing again. So it's a good thing. Now that we've done a cut, he's lost a little bit of strength. It'll be nice to see that bench start climbing back up. But, that 355 decline with a pause, pretty happy with that. So we really can't complain there. That's great. Then he does lateral raises, because again we want to bring those delts up, continue to bring the whole delt and upper back up. And if you guys notice, I like to rotate through a few of these things depending upon my lifters. It's just that overall volume on some stuff has to be taken into account for my bigger, stronger people, right? Because his relative strength goes up, ability to handle volume goes down. All right, we did the cambered bar this week. All right, we did cambered bar. Let's see how we do here. I forget the weight, but it was definitely a respectable weight, so we did a good morning. All right, cambered bar, good morning. I think that's up past 400 pounds. If not, it's real close. I believe it was, though. Given the weight of those bars are usually about 85 for the ones that big. All right, so max effort lower day, we started with a max good morning. Then he does pull-ups. All right, we do some pull-ups. Notice he still has the bar loaded there because we're going to do good mornings again afterwards. So after his pull-ups, we do, you guys guessed it, more good mornings. And we did these for sets of 10, and again, pretty strong at this stuff. So I'm really hoping we're going to see his deadlifts come up. We need to get those technique issues sorted. I think most of his deadlift problems are both psychological and technique. And it's ironic because a conventional deadlift is the least technical lift, but a lot of times people will still mess it up. And this is from a lifter who is very technically proficient at the bench. Right? He's got good bench form. He's able to arch, he's able to pause, stay tight. But again, it's a lot of it's head position, fear of hurting his low back, and we do run into these issues. And we're practicing on that stuff. But, when we look at his strength on some of these lifts, we would expect his deadlift to be a lot higher, just based on the leverages involved with the supplemental work, irrespective of arm length. All right, after that, we do belt squats. All right, we got lucky in that he found a gym with both a belt squat and a reverse hyper. All right, that puts us in a great position to continue to progress here while he's doing this. So, again, belt squats, followed by reverse hypers. So that's pretty much our max effort upper day. So it was pretty much a max effort lift, or max effort lower, I'm sorry. We did pull-ups, good mornings, belt squats, reverse hypers. And, that's overall pretty solid. I'm happy with that. And then, of course, you guys will see the reverse hypers coming up here. And kind of what I'm doing with these, I'm no longer putting this up at the start. Most of my people are on conjugate. You guys know what a conjugate template looks like. If you don't, you simply have to look at my training days and vlogs, figure out what the 4 days are. So I'm just showing you what exercises they're doing. Volume has to be tuned to the individual lifter. So that's the other thing too. All these percentages, all the volume, how many reps and sets is really based upon the needs of the lifter, their volume tolerance, whether they're bulking, cutting, how conditioned they are. All this stuff matters. So, that's where the fine-tuning of the coaching comes in. All right, speed bench day, because again, we don't have bands and chains. We just did it with straight weight, and he's plenty fast here, plenty fast. Again, as I do for most of my lifters, he does 3 sets wide, 3 sets medium, 3 sets close, which you guys will see displayed here. All right, so we did the wide, then there's the medium, and then the close grip. And again, great control, great speed here. This is what we want to see. A lot of my guys, they get the part sometimes of they get violent, but then they're all over the place. They're bouncing off the bench, bars going in all directions. So for those guys, watch Mike. Watch how Mike does this. It's all powerful, it's explosive, it's violent, but it's controlled. Right afterwards, he did floor presses, and I mean, we're, again, for sets of 10, this is phenomenal at this point. All right, what's he doing? 255 for sets of 10. All right, on a floor press. It's good. You can't beat that. So after the floor presses, I have him doing 1 arm dumbbell rows, which tends to be some of my favorites. So if people were to notice, my favorites are different grips of pull-ups, 1 arm dumbbell rows, seal rows, inverted rows. Those are the things you're going to see me prescribe for middle and upper back, all right? Particularly for middle back developments. It's what I prescribe. I find these things very effective. It's not to say that other stuff doesn't work. It's that it works really well for my conjugate lifters. And even with me, I'm doing mostly pull-ups again, moderating the volume and then filling in the gaps with all that dumbbell work and stuff. All right? Again, it works. What I'm really trying to do is avoid loading the spine, okay? Because we have to hit heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, all that stuff. All right, we need to be able to handle a lot of volume and recover from it. All right. Then we have JM presses again, which again, Mike thrives on. And I've always had a love-hate relationship with this exercise, and there are times I'm like, I don't know that it's worth doing, it's too much trouble, blah, 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 hard on the elbows. But that can be staved off with band work, you can be staved off with variations, and at the end of the day, I have to admit that a lot of my strongest benchers hit PRs when we get real strong on the JM press, okay? It just happens repeatedly. All right, then I have him doing lateral raises. And then, of course, he does some band press downs, and I don't think we got the footage for the second one, and that's okay because this video is running on long anyways. But they should be in there. They are there, or they were done. All right, then since he had a safety bar here, we did our speed boxes with straight weight using the safety bar. And I want people to notice, watch that control. Watch how he sits back. The shin is vertical. You have a vertical shin at the bottom of that squat. Okay, this is how you want a power squat, and of course this is what we want to see on speed boxes. Notice, but he keeps the bar midfoot. He sits way back with his hips, but he keeps that bar midfoot with the shins vertical. That's what we want. Now the speed pulls, we're still seeing some of the stuff I complain about. Notice that he has his shoulders rolled too far forward. This is why we struggle on deadlifts. If he wants to tuck that chin too much at the top, right? Even though he's locking out and pulling back now, getting that back. Notice he still starts with the shoulders too rolled forward still, and he still ends up looking down at the top because his shoulders aren't pulled back. We fix some of them trying to squat the weight up, but again, it's the issue of learning to get tight on a deadlift. And for some people that's difficult. But those are technical issues that he and I are working on, improving. So dynamic effort work really looks the same as our other day. I don't always change these things up because at the end of the day, all of our accessory work is for hypertrophy, right? It's for hypertrophy. And we're keeping it simple with the gym he's at right now. Because it's only for a 3-week wave and we'll have different equipment at the new one, so no big deal. So again, after all the speed work, we do pull-ups, he does good mornings, and in this case we're doing them with a cambered bar since we have one. Even though I like to prescribe safety bar, my guys don't always have safety bars at the gyms, or they don't always have the cambered bar at the gym they're at. So if I'm going to rotate, it's a good time to rotate it in, because at the next gym he may not have a cambered bar, and we may be stuck with the SSB for a long time. All right, in which case at least we got this novel training in a bit for a while. So if people are wondering, since I had the two options, why he did that, because he's just less likely to have the cambered bar. But notice they're getting more and more popular. Notice which one everyone's using too. Since Titan and Rogue are now competing with each other on the same design, they're readily available, they're inexpensive, and so gyms are stocking them, plus they're heavy duty. All right, so we have that. We have a belt squat up here, and again, I really like these designs like this with the cable through the middle. You know, they make the platform so big. Long term, you know, maybe if business is better, you know, I may get a design like that. Might very well do it eventually. All right, because I'm already going to upgrade some other stuff. Already a couple grand deep in new upgrades, so that you guys will see next month. But belt squat, and then we finish up with the reverse hyper, which again, everyone knows that I love the reverse hyper. They know why I love it. They know that it is one of my favorite lower body accessory movements for a whole host of reasons. So you guys can watch them finish up on that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.